Did you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling? Welcome to the St. Canard Files, the Darkwing Duck podcast. I'm your host, Will Santana, and
I'm Mike Russo. And did you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling? And we are back.
Yeah, we're finally back, Mike, man. Who we got with us today?
We have another return guest host. We've had him on a few times. Welcome back, Andrew.
Hey, yes, this is Andrew Wallace, and did you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling?
Would you shut up with the deja vu already?
Okay. So I'm assuming everybody knows what episode we're doing today with that intro.
Yeah, we've been promising it long enough.
All right, Andrew, welcome back, man. We haven't seen you in a while.
Hey.
You look older.
Yeah, I kind of aged a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still calling you out on the tennis match. No, I'm not. I'm really not calling you out.
I don't think you can win that one, Will.
Nah, I'll call him out on basketball though. I got confidence in the basketball game.
Yeah, I'd like to see you get a serve over the net. So
yeah, I can't play tennis and I'm not in shape for tennis. I'll admit I would never disrespect tennis players. It's a very physical game, man.
And don't look at me. I can bowl, but that's about it.
All right, guys, so before we get into today's episode, it's been a while since we've done these. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed some of these bonus episodes we've been dropping. Andrew asked for this episode a long time ago, so he's been waiting for this.
So long ago that we forgot he asked for
it. But he reminded us, so he was like, hey, Will, when's that episode coming up? I'm like, I don't know, let me ask Mike.
And then I told him a month ago we were doing it soon, and then all those bonus episodes happened, and it was like, no, not yet.
Okay, well, let's get into the reason why we did those bonus episodes. Basically, I've been out of town for the last 3 weekends in a row. First, I went to Atlanta for a con called Ranger Stop. Yes, everybody knows I'm not a Power Ranger guy. I know nothing about Power Ranger, but there was 4 My Hero Academia voice actors there, and it's something I've just got into recently. So I went just there for them. It's not a big con. It's a small con. You can knock that con out in like 2 hours and be done. You don't need to go for multiple days. Maybe if more people go, it'll grow. Maybe if they expand outside of Ranger Stop, it'll grow. Okay, all right, moving on. Then I went to Atlanta again, and this was the huge one. Andrew was supposed to be there. Andrew, you should have came. Yeah, so in Atlanta, I went to Dragon Con, and I got to meet Rob Paulson finally. Yay!
about time.
Oh, I was the first person in line for Rob, and when he saw the steel beat, he said, oh my God, this is probably like only the 3rd time in my life I've ever signed this. And he said, bada boom, bada bing, Darkwing Doofus. He had to say it.
Did he do it in the voice?
Yeah, he did it in the voice and everything. What I'll tell you now, I loved Rob Paulson, not just because I'm a fan of his, but when he came over, he greeted everybody, shook their hands. He didn't care about COVID, asked them how they're doing, what's their favorite thing he's voiced. And then, he went back and then he started signing. So like his line was moving pretty good, but you still got to conversate with him a little bit.
He's a really nice guy.
Really nice guy. Jim Cummings was there. The voice of Taz, Fred
Tascacori.
Yes, he was there as well.
I might have butchered the name, but
Jess Harnell. Yeah,
Wacko.
He was there. Yeah, Dot canceled like a couple days before.
Trest couldn't make it.
Yeah, and Andrew, those Smallville guys, man, their lines were packed.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah, they were packed. Andrew was going there for Rob Paulson as well, but your sister was going there for Smallville, correct?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna talk really more quick about Dragon Con. It's in 5 hotels, 5 different venues. It's a lot of walking up and down the streets of Atlanta. So you're going up and down hills. So be prepared for it if you ever go. It is quite expensive, but it's a great time if you're a cosplayer. They have cosplay meetups. They take all these photos and stuff. Group meetups. So if you're like example, if you're DC cosplayer, they'll have everybody together. Then they'll do all the heroes, then they'll do all the villains, and then they'll do like all Supermans, all Batman, so forth. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah. So it's really lots of fun. People are so nice out there. The vendor room is 4 floors. 4 floors.
That's
It's a lot of walk.
nuts.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy. And I've been to New York Comic Con. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, Dragon Con is ridiculous. And then the following weekend, I went to Lexington, Kentucky, where Katie Lee was there, Michael Bell was there, Jason Marsden, Jim Cummings. A lot of the Arrow and Smallville people were there. I've never seen.
Did you say Bill Farmer was going to be there too?
Bill Farmer was there as well, and Ashley Eckstein. Is that her name? The one who voices Ahsoka Tano? I think that's her name. Know. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not a big Star Wars, but she was there as well. A lot of wrestlers. Sting's line was ridiculous. Andrew stood in the Sting line for my friend Joe before, man. His line ain't no joke.
We stayed in line 2 hours at Mississippi Comic Con just to get those Sting autographs.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
He was really nice though. You know, it was kind of worth it. You know, he spent a good minute with us and talked with us. So it was worth it.
Now, last thing before we get into the episode, Mike and Andrew, do y'all kind of feel like Funko Pops have turned into like the safe autograph zone?
Yes.
I mean, because they have a Funko Pop for everything. It's you sign it in the window, it stands out, it's in front of you, it's easy to display. I kind of feel like it's turned into the default autograph, but it does work.
It's the easiest thing to autograph because you can get it for like every celebrity that's there. They make something for everyone. Yeah, they have a license for everything. And I know people have mixed feelings about Funko Pops. There's people who love them, people who hate them. I'm kind of in the middle. My one example I love to use is like I love the show Married with Children, and you know, if you're a fan of that show, the only thing you could collect is the DVD. But with the Funko Pops, now you actually have some figures. You got something that kind of represents the show outside of DVDs. You know? Yeah, if it's a pop culture thing, it's probably a Funko Pop. Yeah, you know, like the Muppets have plenty different things. He-Man got lots of stuff, especially Ninja Turtles. But it's something kind of like Married with Children. I think it works. You know, it really works really well.
Well, also, if you want something uniform, like that goes with a lot of stuff, you know, of course, Funko Pops have the license for everything. So if you have a shelf and you have all these different things you like, if you have all the pops, then it all goes together with autographs. Yeah. So, like I said, go ahead. I'm just burnt out on them because they've been around for so long. I'm kind of waiting for the next thing to come along, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. Same here. When I go to Target or Walmart, I'm like, I do not want to go by the pop section because I'm sick of seeing them.
Like I said, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm tired of them too, but like I've got into My Hero Academia and it works. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, with Married with Children, it worked. With Darkwing, I think it works easier because those Playmate figures can get expensive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So with Darkwing, it's another way to play it safe. But if you're Jim Cummings has probably signed so many Darkwings over the past 5 years. Oh, yeah. All right. So, Mike, what episode are we doing today, man? Clash Reunion. All right. One of the better ones from season 2. I like this one a lot. I do too. I really do. Andrew, you like this one a lot too?
Well, of course I do. I asked to be on this episode.
That's true.
Yeah, man. All right. So, Mike, man, let's go ahead and get into this. I haven't asked you this in so long. Way too long. Yeah, man. So what's our production air date order? Okay. So this one aired Saturday, November 21st, 1992. And it was 88th by production numbers. So we're, third to the end. We're almost done. Ooh, 88. That's crazy. It's way back there. Yep. All right. And it's our last Megavolt show, guys. No. I know. Goodbye, Megavolt. Oh, no more Dan Castellaneta. I know. This is the end for him. And the story editor was Doug Langdale, and it was written by Bill Motz and Robert Roth. This is their last episode. I don't like it as much as Frequency Fiends, but it still is really good. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Well, you can't go wrong with a Megavolt episode, can you? I'm trying to think. Is there a Megavolt episode I don't like? How did you feel about Inherit the Wimp? There you go. Okay, you found one. That's my least favorite Megavolt. You found one. Okay. Yep. All right. So you cover that. Are we ready for the plot now? Except for the animation, we have Hanho again. Okay, you got them again. Okay. It's anything jump out to you guys as far as that goes? No, nothing really stood out. I mean, but it wasn't bad though. Nothing that I could think of. I think Hanho is riding out the clock at this point. They were clocking out, huh? I think they're about done with Darkwing. It's really funny. Before we start the plot,
I've been watching a lot of Goof Troop lately. Don't ask me why, please. That's just how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny to watch the animation on Goof Troop, just how dynamic it was, and then go back to these Darkwing episodes that aired at the exact same time, and just see how kind of tame it's getting. It's not as fun as it used to be, but it still does what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
But anyway, why don't we get started, right?
All right, let's go ahead and get into this plot. All right, we got Goss and LP, and they're playing like a Monopoly type game, right?
Yes, definitely Monopoly.
Yeah.
My family, when we play Monopoly, it's like killer. Okay, nobody's safe. Put it that way.
Do you have any theme Monopoly games?
Yes. Let's see. We have the Muppets Monopoly.
I have that one.
Actually, we were missing the animal figure that came with it. We never got that piece.
Oh.
But I think, what's our favorite one to play? We like the Disney Villains one. We like that.
Does your dad have a kiss one?
Yes, he does, but he won't open it. He's got like 3 of them. He's like, even though we've got 3, we're not going to play any of them.
I picked up a Godzilla Monopoly last weekend.
Oh, yeah. There's a Godzilla one too?
Yeah, it came out last year.
Oh, and wow.
I know we have the Seinfeld Monopoly, and let's see, Scooby-Doo Monopoly, and that's all we have.
Are they all open, or except for the kiss?
All are open but kiss, yeah.
How would you guys feel about Disney Afternoon Monopoly?
That'd be kind of cool.
I'd love it.
That would be cool. Awesome.
I probably wouldn't open mine though, because I personally don't like the Monopoly game. So to me, it would just be like a display thing.
The tokens are cool though.
Oh yeah.
All right, so they're playing Monopoly, and it looks like Goss is destroying him. So she hustles him into doing her chores
again.
Yeah, again. And then Drake pops in, and the thing that all adults hate when they get the mail is bills.
Except a letter from Ed McMallon.
Yeah.
Andrew, did you get that reference? Or are you a little too young for the Publishers Clearinghouse reference?
Okay. For one,
you remember that, right, Will?
Oh, of course. And what's his name?
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon. And what was the other guy's name? The one who did the New Year's rock and roll thing.
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark. He was on it sometimes too, right?
Yeah, and you'd want them to show up at your house with like a check for $10 million.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
I've heard these names before. So
they haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, it was all a scam, basically trying to get you to order magazines and stuff, man. Yeah. All right, but yeah, so he gets a high school reunion invitation in the mail, and immediately Drake reminisces about solving the pencil thief crime.
Yeah,
go ahead, Mike, take us away.
Oh, so he gets out his yearbook, and Goslin's like, look out, he's gonna reminisce. And he points to himself in the yearbook, and he points to 2 other characters we're going to meet in this episode. A pig called Hamstring and his girlfriend Prina Lot. We'll meet them in a moment. And so we flash back to 1972. Since it's a 20-year high school reunion, this episode takes place in 1992. Obviously, he went to school in the early 70s, which means Drake Mallard is in his late 30s. So he's probably about as old as you are, Will.
Hey, what are you trying to say, man? You're older than me.
Yeah, but I'm not in my late 30s.
I'm not in my late 30s either.
No?
No.
Oh, so Drake is older than you are. So anyway, so he talks about how, he was in school, and everybody loved him. He talks about how he was this great, like, popular guy, but we can tell he was a nerd. One kid named Lenny lost his pencil, and Drake is trying to find it. He's being all detective. So you see that was in his blood even back then. And, he's interrogating all the students, including Hamstring and Prina Lot. And what is his nickname in high school, Andrew?
Drake the Dweeb.
Yes, Drake the Dweeb. And he gets his beak tweaked by Ham all the time.
Go ahead, tweak his beak.
And so really quick, the 2 voice actors for Hamstring and Prina Lot. Hamstring is somebody new. He was voiced by Jerry Hauser, born 52, voice acted in 1982. Funny, his first voice acting role was in the Gary Coleman Show. It was a cartoon where Gary Coleman was a ghost, and he helped out kids. Really strange. He was only in a couple of Disney shows, Tailspin and Goof Troop. He had a reoccurring role in Goof Troop as like a grifter who would, who'd rob Pete, rip him off. And he's not credited after anything after 2006. but he's Hamstring, and Prina Lot is Teresa Ganzel. She was Fly Girl from Heavy Mental. So if you want to hear us talk about her career, you can go back to that episode. What happens next, Will?
Basically, Drake doesn't really resolve the case. You know, the pencil was under the desk. He got picked on a little bit, but do you want to tell us like what happened after that? Like, who else was in there, or you want to?
Well, Drake pulls out a spinning hypno disc.
Oh yeah,
and tries to hypnotize people. Yeah, Hypnocoin. All he does is hypnotize himself, and he freezes, and everybody takes turns tweaking his beak.
I wonder,
including this rat-like nerd. And all of a sudden, Goslin stops the story, grabs the yearbook, doodles in it with a marker, no less. And it turns out Drake went to school with Andrew.
Elmo Sputterspark.
Megavolt.
Yeah.
So our story switches over to Megavolt's lighthouse. And what do you think of his getup here?
Oh man, wasn't he in a robe or something?
And light bulb slippers. And his helmet's not on. You see a little bit of his hair on top.
Man, Megavolt looked like a G, man.
He doesn't know what to dress up as for his reunion, but a light bulb comes up with his usual disguise.
Yeah, but then we get his version of the past. We get his reminiscing story.
This is so great because Dan Castellaneta gets to just narrate the episode for a bit. And he's just really great. You just can't go wrong with Megavolt.
I know. I was showing my mom an interview of Dan Castellaneta on Conan from the 90s, you know, and just showing her, you know, oh yeah, this guy voices Homer Simpson. She was just like, him? Because, you know, you I guess you just wouldn't think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he doesn't look like Homer at all, you know.
Right.
Well, this skinny bald guy, yeah, he's got, and it's amazing he can go from that deep Homer Simpson voice to that screaming Megavolt voice, and it's like very, very different.
He's also Grandpa, right? He's Grandpa Simpson.
He's
right?
Grandpa. He's Barney. He's Krusty.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Krusty too.
He's Sideshow Mel.
Oh my goodness.
I think he's Itchy or Scratchy. I'm not sure which one.
Okay.
I remember he was a genie on all the Aladdin movies after, you know, Robin Williams wouldn't do it. So he did a lot. He did a lot of stuff. So Elmo Sputterspark is just as big a nerd as Drake is. And he gets beaten up by Hamstring as well.
Yeah.
Thrown right into a garbage can.
Yeah.
And what's great about Megavolt, this episode, he can't remember anything. Like his memory is really shot. And he makes a comment like that, he says that January afternoon, or was it June?
June.
And the background changes when he says it from winter to spring.
Yeah. And then basically then he gets into it with was this already happened where he got into it with him and he got his powers?
Yeah, it cuts the lab.
You know, he was tossed in the garbage can the first time he got into it with Ham.
Okay, and then it happens again. Okay.
Yeah, because now he's in the lab on the treadmill. Trying to use static electricity to power a light bulb. And then Ham comes in. Ham's a jerk. Like, he really goes too far.
Yeah.
It's unusually cruel.
Yeah. He tapes Elmo's hands to the handlebar of the treadmill and turns it all the way up. I want to ask you guys, as far as origin goes, who do you feel more sorry for, Bushroot or Megavolt?
I guess I gotta go Bushroot. Or who you choosing, Mike?
The only reason I'm going to choose Megavolt is that this fried his brain.
Oh,
Bushroot is at least as smart and as competent as he used to be. He's just a plant. Megavolt's just screwed up for life. Like this just screws him up completely.
I think you've swayed my argument, Mike. I'm going to side with you for this.
And he gets thrown against the wall, and he's fine for now until he touches the doorknob.
Yeah.
And the shock gives him an afro and messes up his eyes.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I like Megavolt with a fro, man.
You may like it, but Megavolt doesn't like it.
No, he hates
haircut.
I mean, he hasn't come up with a name yet. We're calling him Megavolt, but you know, it's Megavolt. He realizes he can shoot electricity from his fingers. There's an animation mistake. He's drawn with his goggles when he shouldn't be. in one
really?
shot.
Half a second.
Oh,
And
I didn't catch that.
But your eyes are drawn right to it. No pun intended. You can't miss it. So they draw him with the goggles, and he realizes he can get even with people with his power. So we continue on with the narration. This time, I think it's Drake is taking over the narration, correct? So we cut to the prom, where what happens, Will?
Didn't Gosling call out Drake first?
Yeah, caught him shouldn't you have caught him by now, Dad?
Yeah, she calls him out for not defeating Megavolt since high school.
Yeah, and Drake's like, yeah.
You did that pretty good.
So then the narration continues, and they're at the gym, and Elmo comes in. He calls himself Megawatt, but he has to change it because that's the name of the band.
And I will say, my dad would be very happy that they look very Kiss-esque.
They look very like Kiss.
Well, it was the 70s.
Yeah.
And everyone's got the 70s threads on, you know, the tacky suits, the bell bottoms, all that fun stuff. There's a disco ball. So Drake tries to fight by swinging on a curtain, but he crashes and that drops the punch all over Ham, makes a fool of himself.
Yeah.
And then Megavolt says he's going to destroy the school and everybody in it.
Well, Ham tries to stop Megavolt, but Megavolt ends up making Ham dance with his electricity.
Oh, yeah.
And he deserves it.
He definitely deserves it.
I can't blame Megavolt if he just went after Ham to be one thing, but he's trying to get everybody else. So Drake is backstage trying to figure out what to do, you know, behind the curtains, behind the stage. Yeah. And what does he do?
He starts looking for a hero outfit and starts trying to think of a hero name.
Well, he finds a hat. He finds a mask. He puts on a cape.
And now
he has to come up with a name.
Yeah.
The first one is great.
Scary thing.
The really fast, scary thing. He says Captain Quackerzoid or stuff like that. He just cannot come up with a name. And he also sees smoke bombs.
Yeah, he picked those up.
McBeak.
So, yeah, and at this point, Darkwing Duck makes his very first entrance.
Yeah, go for it, Mike. What is it?
It is, I am the grade curve that gives you an F.
A grade curve that gives you an F.
Megavolt goes, I foresee doom. And he beats him.
I never understood that entrance line, the grade curve that gives you an F, because most of the time the curves boosts everybody's grades up, don't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to. That is how it's supposed to work. And Megavolt has a great line. You may be tough, but I'm not. Or something.
Yeah.
And Darkwing beats him. He drops a disco ball on him. And
well, also, you missed Megavolt's great line of your chemistry.
Oh, your chemistry. That's not right.
Your history.
That was great too.
That was great.
Megavolt has all the great lines in this one.
He really does, man. He really does.
So we cut back to the present, and Drake is certain Megavolt's going to show up on the reunion to attack the school again. So Darkwing and Launchpad arrive. I guess Launchpad's Drake's date. At least he's his plus one.
Yeah, Gosling refused to stay home.
No, she doesn't want to miss the action. So she comes running in, and you know, he can't take her home because he has to be on the lookout for Megavolt. But he sees Ham again. Ham's a little older, but still a jerk.
Well, he literally bumps into Ham.
Yeah, and guys like Ham are like part of the reason why I never did go to my high school reunions, because I never wanted to meet people who were more successful than I was and would just rub it in. Did you go to your reunions, Will?
I did, man.
You did?
Yeah.
I just never felt it was worth it. I don't want to be on for the night and have to like have people try to impress me and have to impress them right back. So I feel like I would be exactly like Drake in this scenario. Turns out though that Ham is actually his boss is Prina. They got married and she's in charge of a pharmaceutical company, and she's his boss.
Yeah, he's the VP.
And she still tells him to tweak Drake's beak.
Yep.
So Drake's as big a loser now as he was 20 years ago.
Yeah, and then Gosling, she caught on that Drake wasn't really respected.
Yeah,
she called him out on that.
Yep. But you know, he's here to catch Megavolt, so he takes this pose and holds it for 6 hours.
Now, Mike, I gotta say something. Right when after he holds that pose, LP calls him DW, and he tells him to try the food. I forgot what it was called, horse something.
The hors d'oeuvres, but he calls them the horse do-overs.
Yeah.
But when Drake says he might be mistaken, Gosling walks past and she's like, "It's not the first time you've been wrong."
Yeah.
Drake's like, "Oh, you."
Yeah. But LP calls him DW right in front of Megavolt, man.
Launchpad calls him DW in front of everybody. You'd think someone would have caught on by now, especially Megavolt, because Megavolt asks where the horse do-overs are, and Launchpad points him in the right direction. And Megavolt says, "Thanks, Launchpad." And Launchpad goes, "No problemo, Megavolt." I think this was the only time in Darkwing Duck history where a villain recognized Launchpad by name.
I know, right?
That's never happened.
Yep.
You know, they're just so nonchalant about it. You know, any more horse do-overs?
Yeah, that's the one thing about ABC season 2. My wife really loves. She loves this relationship Launchpad and Megavolt have, where they kind of are nice to each other even though they're enemies, and she loves it. She thinks that's great.
They're like, it's just business. You know?
It's just business. Yeah, with Launchpad, it's just business. Launchpad's just there. He's there at a circumstance because he has to be there.
Yeah.
So Megavolt, you know, he makes himself known. He's going to destroy the school again, and he goes, "You know the drill."
Yeah. He meant business, because classic Megavolt's now on the stage, you know.
And when everybody freaks out, he says, "Didn't you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling?" And that starts the running gag that we alluded to a little while ago.
Yeah. And then wait, we get another Darkwing entrance, right?
Darkwing shows up immediately and says, "I am the fast food that comes back to haunt you." I've been there. I think
we all have.
We've all been there at least once.
Yep.
So a fight breaks out. And as they're like sizing each other up, Megavolt says it again. "You ever get that creepy deja vu feeling?" And Darkwing says, "Every time I put you away, Megsy." It's great. And everybody escapes except Prina and Ham. They stick around to watch.
Well, Ham wanted to.
Ham wanted to take off.
Yeah, but she's like, it's our chance to see him in action again. She's the boss. She wears the pants in this relationship. And so Megavolt zaps the floor under Goslin and Launchpad, drops them out of the scene. And then he looks in the hole and he's like, "They still keep all the band instruments down here." So they fight again. Darkwing beats Megavolt temporarily. And that's when Megavolt says, "You ever get that creepy deja vu feeling?" And Darkwing says, "Would you shut up with the deja vu already?"
Yeah.
And then what happens next?
Megavolt pulls off Darkwing's mask.
And it's very sudden. You know, if you haven't seen the episode before, it comes out of nowhere. You're not expecting it.
Yeah.
It's playing like a normal episode, and then all of a sudden, wait.
Yeah.
It's changed.
And instantly, Darkwing's mojo is gone, Mike. It's gone.
Well, mine would go too if everybody turned around and started laughing at me. Prina, Ham, Megavolt, they die laughing.
And all of a sudden, there's shadows everywhere.
And they really accentuate it really well with like close-ups of their faces as they're laughing and pointing. And man, Darkwing must feel like crap.
Yeah, doesn't he try the old climbing up the curtain thing?
He tries it one more time, but now Megavolt just steps out of the way. Very nonchalantly. He just moves.
Steps on.
And Megavolt's like, "I'd like to cream you, but I don't have the heart."
Yeah, so he only goes after Ham.
Yeah, Ham and Prina too. And he takes them away, and then Launchpad and Goslin crawl out of the hole. Launchpad has a tuba on his head, and Goslin doesn't care that he doesn't wear a mask. She's like, "Come on, let's go fight the bad guy. Let's go." Goslin knows it's not the mask that makes him a hero, but Darkwing is wallowing in self-pity because that's what he always does.
Yeah, his mojo and confidence is just shot, man. It's done.
Broken. It is totally broken.
Yeah.
And they find Megavolt's hideout by obviously they find the building in town that has electricity flying out of it.
Yeah, didn't they call it like the
warehouse?
That's what it was called?
It was one of Dr. Slug's hideouts.
Okay.
So Dr. Slug gets one last name drop. I also think this is the last time we see the Thunderquack.
Really?
Oh,
they're flying through this. Yeah, because the next 2 episodes, I don't believe it's in there.
Okay. And then LP tells Darkwing to sit this one out, man.
Yeah, they'll go handle it themselves because he's totally useless.
Yeah.
But
I'm a slug, a washout.
He's a spud mother and jackanapes, just like he says that in Justice Ducks. So Launchpad and Gosling get in there, and what Megavolt's going to do, he's got Prina and Ham in a giant light bulb, and he's planning on electrocuting them to death. And they almost free everybody because Megavolt forgets who he is.
Yep. But then LP reminds him. Yeah.
Well,
like, who am I? Someone tell me who I am. It's like a dentist, no. A lumberjack, no. King of the jungle, no. He's like, good Lord in heaven, someone tell me who I am.
This reminds me a lot of a Bugs Bunny short called Hairless Wolf.
Yes, the wolf always forgot what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, what was I doing? What was I chasing? Yeah. Definitely a lot like that. And then the Launchpad's like, you're a super villain. And the Launchpad goes, and then Megavolt says, thanks, buddy.
Gosling covered his mouth too late, though. He got it out already.
Yep, and Megavolt ties them all to the inside of the light bulb.
Nice going, Launchpad.
Yep. So Megavolt raises them up on a platform all the way to the roof and plans to fry them.
Yeah. Then Darkwing's trying to get his confidence back.
Not really. He's throwing out all of his tech. He's going to sell it to Captain Protozoa and Sponge Boy. Those are 2 characters we never actually meet. Sponge reminds a little bit of SpongeBob, Sponge Boy. And but then he notices what's going on. He realizes he has to do something.
Yeah.
And then Megavolt has another great Megavolt line, how he's gonna get even with those kids and their nosy dog. Whoops,
at last.
Wrong cartoon.
Last, we've rid of those meddling kids and their nosy little dog. Wait, whoops, wrong cartoon.
Yeah, what is he referencing, guys?
Of course, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, all these writers probably worked on Scooby-Doo at least once. They all did.
Yeah.
I mean, Scooby-Doo is the cartoon equivalent of the Andy Griffith Show. It just kept going.
Yeah.
How many times has Scooby-Doo come up in this podcast, Will? Like every time we talk about a voice actor or a writer, they always worked on Scooby-Doo and the Smurfs.
It always ties back to Hanna-Barbera.
Yep.
It's always Hanna-Barbera, yeah. So how does our final fight go, Andrew?
Let's see. I know DW calls him Sparky.
One last time.
Then, oh my goodness, it's so sad.
Yeah, he shot like rubber cement at him after he got knocked down.
Yeah, Megavolt.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't just drop him into the pit of rubber cement, did I?
Yeah, just the way he's looking down, I didn't just kick Darkwing into that vat of cement, did I? And then Darkwing squirts him with the cement, sticks him in place. They free Prina and Ham, and of course Launchpad and Gosling. And Ham's like, sorry, I acted like such a jerk. And Darkwing
Go ahead,
goes,
Ham, apologize.
Yeah, he did. He apologized to Darkwing.
But he says, Ham, you weren't acting. And they say his secret's safe with them, but that's not going to happen because he pulls out the Hypnocoin again and hypnotizes them. You know,
and it works for once.
And he also says Drake Mallory's a real cool guy and you shouldn't pick on him.
And what's funny is though, Megavolt though, man. Megavolt is just hilarious on this ending right here, man.
Yeah, he's like, I know Darkwing's secret identity. It's Elmo
Sputterspark.
No, that can't be right.
It was Hamstring. No, it was the big guy.
Yeah, so Darkwing don't even have to hypnotize him. He can't remember.
Well, let's hope he never does remember.
Oh man. So that's
great ending.
Yeah, great ending. So that's Clash Reunion. Instead of going to Andrew, Mike, what's your feedback on this one? What's your review, man?
I think it's top tier ABC season 2.
It definitely is.
I think it's right up there with Steerminator as one of the best of the season. I don't think it's as good as Steerminator because you really can't top Taurus Bulba. But it's one of the most watchable of the season. It's one of the funniest, and it's important because you get a legit Darkwing origin this time. And you finally get Megavolt's origin too.
Yep.
And Dan is funny. He's hilarious in this one too. So it's one of the best, and I recommend it really, really highly. I'm going to give it a 4.
Hey, okay. Andrew?
I mean, I wish it had slightly better animation that would really bring it over the top. Yeah. But I'm not going to fault it because it's where we are with the series right now. So I'm not going to really be hard on it. So it's four gas gun canisters.
All right, Andrew.
The animation is very standard, but I feel like everything else in this episode excels so much that, you know, it kind of brings it up.
Okay.
The episode, I think, flows well. You never feel lost or like, you know, why is this here? And or like for a flashback episode, I'll say I'm glad they got all the flashbacks done at once, you know, and didn't keep cutting back, because that would have gotten too repetitive. And I feel having, you know, the act at the prom and then the reunion right after gives you a lot of flashbacks and foreshadowing for things to come within the plot. But I think it's awesome that Drake and Megavolt have been fighting since high school. You know, they've had the best chemistry within the show between Darkwing and his villains, I think. And so it's just great to think that they've been doing this for so long. But I'd give it a 4.5.
Hey,
nice.
Okay.
So it's definitely one of my favorite episodes. Definitely one of my favorites with Megavolt. That's probably on my top 5 of all time.
Nice.
Hey, nice. Okay.
Well, you know, Andrew, it's a really focused episode. I feel like it's a story they really wanted to tell. I felt like with episodes like Mutancy on the Bouncy and Paint Misbehaving, those episodes kill a lot of time because I don't feel like they wanted to do those episodes. This one felt like a story they really wanted to tell us. So it's very focused. It's got really great jokes, and it's just enjoyable from start to finish.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. I agree with Andrew. It's, you know, with the animation, you know, it's subpar. It's decent enough. It holds its own weight. It's nothing spectacular, but the episode flows so well. There's never a dull moment. There's never a scene you want to skip. Megavolt, to me personally, steals the show. This is his episode. I know we get some Darkwing origin, some Darkwing jokes. They pick on Darkwing and stuff, but I think Megavolt's storyline is just much more hilarious. And then his punchlines, they're just so iconic. I know Nega Duck is probably people's most favorite villain when it comes to Darkwing, but I just always felt Megavolt was always the more iconic villain. So to get his origin episode, especially toward the ending, it just was so perfect. And then, like, I believe that's how the Boom series starts, with referencing him as Elmo, right?
Yeah, because he's not Megavolt in his new job.
Yeah, at the
Quackworks.
Quackworks. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so for season 2, or just overall, it's a great episode. It's funny. I'm laughing like 90% of the time I'm watching it. So, Mike, I'm with Andrew. I'm going 4.5, man.
Nice.
I'm going 4.5.
Yeah, there's not too many season 2 episodes I would say are must watches, but this one and Steerminator are like top of the pack.
Definitely, man. Andrew, we've already rated Megavolt, but you know, you one of our favorite guesses and stuff. Go ahead and give him a rating, man. Give Megavolt a rating.
Let's see, it goes up to 5, right?
Yeah, I'll
give it a 6.
Hey, you're breaking my Quacker Jack rule. No.
Hey, you went to infinity with Quacker Jack. This is below infinity, but you know, it's above 5.
Okay. Fair enough.
It is. Why? Well, Megavolt is just the most, I'd say, iconic Darkwing Duck villain, because when you think about Darkwing, everyone thinks about Negaduck, of course, but you know, that's just his polar opposite. Megavolt is someone you can continually go back to, you know, and he never gets old. You know, you always love to see Megavolt. For me, he was always my favorite villain to see. So, you know, he's just, you can't go wrong with Megavolt.
You can't.
The problem with Negaduck is since he is the exact same design, you don't go right to him as far as iconic villains go, because it's just a doppelganger thing. With Megavolt, he's special on his own.
Yes.
In terms of design, he's special. And he's in so many episodes. He's one of the funniest characters on the show, that he's number one in terms of, I mean, the only reason why Negaduck's gotten so many toys recently is you can repaint Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why Megavolt is the only other villain in the Funko line.
Mm-hmm. Naked Duck is easy, like he's the same mold as Darkwing, just paint him a different color,
Yeah, or give him a new head like the Q figure does.
Save a lot on tooling.
Yeah. So I agree with you. He's not my favorite, but I can't ignore what he is. I can't.
Well, like with that description, like how Negaduck is just the opposite. When you think of the Flash, a lot of people will say Reverse Flash, but I think most people think of Captain Cold.
Well, Negaduck's colors were based on Reverse Flash,
right?
But Megavolt makes the show better by existing.
Yeah.
Like his existence. I mean, I know you love Quackerjack, but I think you could remove him from the show. It wouldn't hurt the show. He makes it better. But there's something about Megavolt. If you pull Megavolt out of the show, it actually hurts the Rogues Gallery. Like that's too big of a gap if you take Megavolt out of that lineup of villains. He's too important.
Wasn't he the most recurring villain in the whole
19 episodes he was in.
Yeah. And as much as I love Quackerjack, their team ups were just really good, man. They were a great team. The chemistry with Michael Bell and Castellaneta, with the voices and stuff, man.
I think it's great that we got a whole bunch of Megavolt this season. I think it was a big shame that they forgot about Quackerjack and Bushroot. But at least we got enough Megavolt, and not just Megavolt, we got funny Megavolt episodes. Like Frequency Fiends in this one, I think are his funniest episodes, bar none. I mean, as sad as it is to see him go, we still talked about him a lot this season.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell the writers really favored Megavolt as a character. So.
I mean, these guys, Roth and Motz, I mean, they were brand new writers this season, but they got Megavolt. They really got him. But goodbye, Megavolt.
No, I like Megavolt.
Only got 2 more left, Will.
Yeah. So all right. So Mike, what episode we got next, man?
Okay, we got some big goodbyes next time. We're saying goodbye to Morgana.
No.
The Muddlefoots.
No.
And Negaduck.
No.
In Malice's restaurant.
Okay.
Also, Eek, Squeak, and Archie are coming back for this one episode. A lot going on, a lot of goodbyes. Decent episode. Not one of my favorites, but can't go wrong with Negaduck. So next week we've got Malice's restaurant.
All right. So Mike, for the people listening for the first time, where can they find us at, man?
You can find us everywhere: Stitcher, Spotify, Google, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. I think that's all of them. I know there's more. Any shout outs, Will?
Yeah, I got a few of them, man. I've seen a couple people commenting on YouTube. So let me give a shout out to, all right, if I screw up your names, I'm apologizing now. And remember, I don't know your real names. I'm just going by your YouTube ID name. So I'm guessing your Google name or something. Here we go. Mark Surachi. Oh God, I probably butchered that one. Rose of Sharon, Cartoon Cat, Jolted Gyronic, Shane McAdams, and Silver Yoked. So those are my shout outs, Mike.
All right. And Andrew, this probably is going to be the last time we'll get you on here.
Nah, I'll get him back for something bonus when we're done. I'll get him back. Andrew's my boy, man.
Well, the last Darkwing episode, at least.
Yeah, last Darkwing one. Yeah, I'll get him for like a comic or something. I got to get Andrew back. That's my boy, man.
Well, this show's not ending just because the episodes are done.
Yeah.
So
me and Mike, we thought of some stuff. We'll keep the podcast alive for a little while,
Yeah. So
not
we're
forever.
Done with the show.
Keep going.
Oh no, not forever. Unless Andrew or somebody younger wants to take over. Yeah. But definitely though, we'll have Andrew back, and I guess that's it for now though, Mike. We'll wrap this one up, and Andrew, thanks for being here, man.
Thank y'all for having me. One of the last 3 episodes.
All right. Yeah, you're probably our last guest for an episode. He's our last guest for an episode, right?
Yeah, we don't have anybody else on the next 2.
Okay, so it'll just be me. Oh, I love it. You calling him out. All right, so
I think by sheer volume, though, I think Bill wins.
Yeah.
Stands
but
hot
the people's
and
favorite here. The people's favorite.
You know what? Since you did that, Andrew, I hate to say it, but Bill called me out a while back, and he said he has not done an episode with me yet.
You've got to do something with him.
I gotta do something with my boy Bill, man. So he'll be back. He'll definitely be back. All right, so that wraps up this episode, everybody. And once again, thanks, Andrew. Mike, it's good to see you again.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Everybody, stay dangerous.
Have a good night.
Night, y'all.